visit to the occupied Palestinian territories and Israel. Andrew's back to tell us why this trip is important and what's the conversation online, Andrew?
Doreen, this visit ends what's often been described as an unofficial boycott, which has been in place for the last 70 years. The British government has avoided sending royals there on an official visit until the Palestinian-Israeli conflict is resolved because they didn't want to drag the apolitical palace into an intensely political situation.
Prince William's visit to Israel today is a historic first, and I think another example of how the young royals are pushing boundaries and breaking with tradition. Although the palace says that this visit will be non-political, I think he'll be under intense scrutiny because it's very difficult to have a non-political royal visit to a region as controversial as Israel.
So that was Dr. Sarah Richardson, a British historian at the University of Warwick. And to give you a sense of the scrutiny that she's talking about here, before the trip began, an Israeli cabinet minister lashed out at Kensington Palace for labeling East Jerusalem as occupied. Cabinet Minister Zeev Elkin posted on his Facebook page that unified Jerusalem has been the capital of Israel for over 3,000 years. No twisted wording of the official press release will change the reality. It's regrettable that Britain chose to politicize the royal visit, and I'm expecting the prince's staff to fix this distortion. But East Jerusalem is occupied under international law, and no government has recognized Israel's annexation of East Jerusalem since it was captured in the 1967 war. And while attempting to keep the trip non-political, there's just so much history involved here, considering Britain's colonial legacy in Palestine, even down to where Prince William will be sleeping. The King David Hotel is where more than 90 people were killed in a bombing by a Jewish armed group called the Irgun in 1946. 28 British nationals died in the blast at the site of Britain's administrative headquarters during its rule of Palestine. So many people are watching to see if Prince William comments on so much British history in a place like this. And many Palestinians are hoping that he'll offer an apology for, as this user put it, giving away their country. At least one Palestinian official in the UK has called this an indirect apology, this visit by the prince, for the Balfour Declaration a century ago. It supported the idea of a national home for the Jewish people in Palestine, as long as it didn't tarnish the rights of non-Jewish communities in Palestine. Now, between 1947 and 1949, at least 750,000 Palestinians, that's of a population of around 1.9 million at the time, they were expelled by Zionist militias, which later formed the Israeli army, and they ethnically cleansed and destroyed more than 500 villages and killed around 15,000 native Palestinians in a series of massacres. So many older Palestinians still blame the British for their misfortune and aren't expecting much from the first official royal visit.
We do not expect much, be it from the United States or from Prince William's or anyone else. We have fixed, acknowledged rights in the United Nations and United Nations resolutions. Britain is the reason behind the Nakba, and it has full responsibility in pursuing the return of the refugees and achieving the right of return, and implementing Resolution 194.
Finally, there are those like the Israeli commentator Anshel Pfeffer who say visits by Prince William and Jared Kushner this week have no real effect on the region and only symbolize the global decline of both the United Kingdom and the United States. Now, Israel is one of the 10 countries that the UK is exploring a bilateral trade agreement with as it prepares to leave the European Union. So let us know what you think this visit means and what it will mean for the Israeli-Palestinian process, if anything at all. You can tweet us your views using the hashtag AJNewsGrid or message me directly. I'm Andrew Chappelle.